They provoke you on purpose, not because they are strong, not because they are confident, but because they are searching for leverage. Provocation is not about winning an argument. It is about pulling you out of balance. The moment you lose emotional control, even briefly, the exchange stops being about truth and becomes about power, and power always flows toward the person who remains composed while the other reacts. Most people misunderstand arguments. They believe arguments are verbal competitions, that the sharpest response or the loudest tone determines who wins. But real dominance is rarely visible in volume or speed. It is visible in restraint. The person who remains calm while others escalate silently takes control of the situation, because calm communicates something deeper than words ever could. I am not threatened. Provocation rarely arrives as an open attack. It usually comes disguised as humor, sarcasm, subtle disrespect, or a comment designed to undermine you just enough to test your reaction. The goal is never resolution. The goal is reaction. Because once you react emotionally, you become predictable, and predictability is weakness. When someone provokes you, your body responds before your mind does. Your chest tightens, your breathing changes, your jaw locks, your thoughts rush forward, searching for a defense. This is the critical moment. If you speak from this state, you are no longer choosing your response. Your nervous system is choosing for you. And the nervous system is not concerned with dignity, long-term respect, or outcomes. It only wants release. This is why emotional control is not optional. It is the foundation of authority. The person who cannot regulate themselves will always be regulated by others. Every time you react impulsively, you hand control to the person who provoked you. They succeeded. The first discipline is delay. Silence creates distance. Distance creates choice. Choice creates power. You do not owe anyone an immediate response. You do not need to correct every comment. You do not need to defend your reputation in front of people who benefit from misunderstanding you. Silence, when used correctly, is not avoidance. It is positioning. But silence must be grounded. Fearful silence shrinks. Powerful silence holds space. When you pause, remain present. Maintain eye contact. Relax your posture. Breathe slowly. This signals control, not retreat. The difference is subtle, but everyone in the room feels it. If you decide to speak, speak with precision. Short statements land harder than long explanations. The more you explain, the more you signal uncertainty. Explanations are often misinterpreted as weakness, not because you are wrong, but because social dynamics reward certainty over detail. Every extra word gives your opponent material to manipulate. Arguments are rarely about facts. They are about frames. Whoever sets the frame controls the interaction. If you argue inside someone else's frame, you have already lost. Provocateurs are skilled at framing situations so that you are forced to defend yourself. Once you defend, you accept the lower position. Instead of defending, redirect. Ask clarifying questions. Slow the exchange. What exactly do you mean? Why do you think that? These questions shift pressure back onto the other person without aggression. They force them to either escalate openly or retreat. Either way, you remain centered. This is how you argue without losing control. You stop trying to win emotionally and focus on preserving your internal order. The goal is not to dominate the other person. The goal is to remain sovereign. Time is another weapon most people ignore. Fast responses feel strong, but delayed responses feel authoritative. A reply given later, from clarity, often carries more weight than a clever comeback delivered in the heat of the moment. Silence combined with timing creates gravity. Many people mistake composure for coldness. They accuse calm individuals of being detached or unemotional. In reality, Calm is simply discipline. Not everyone deserves access to your emotional energy. Engagement is not a moral obligation. It is a choice. There is an uncomfortable truth behind provocation. Some people provoke because they are empty. They need reactions to feel significant. Your emotional response gives them importance. When you deny them that, they lose power. This is not cruelty. It is self-respect. The philosophy behind this approach is not suppression. Suppression creates resentment and eventual explosion. This is about command. Anger is not the enemy. Uncontrolled anger is. When anger is observed instead of obeyed, it becomes information instead of destruction. When someone tries to bait you, ask yourself silently, what are they trying to extract from me right now? Attention, control, validation. Once you identify the intention, the emotional charge weakens. You stop reacting to the surface and start seeing the mechanism underneath. This shift changes how people treat you. Over time, they test you less. They choose their words more carefully. Not because you intimidate them, but because they sense your limits. Boundaries do not need to be announced loudly. They are felt through consistency. Respect does not. Another illusion must be dropped. Being right does not equal being powerful. Many people win arguments and lose position. They leave the conversation feeling victorious, but others leave seeing them as reactive, emotional, or unstable. Authority is not proven through persuasion. It is proven through composure. Predators do not look for weakness of body. They look for weakness of posture. The uncertain stance, the apologetic tone, the need to be liked. Provocation is a test to see if you will collapse inward or remain solid. Your task is not to intimidate, but to stabilize. This stability is built daily, not in moments of conflict. Structure in your life creates calm in confrontation. Discipline creates confidence. A full life reduces neediness. When your identity does not depend on winning every interaction, provocation loses its power. The most dangerous mistake is believing that silence equals surrender. Silence, when chosen consciously, is command. It signals that you do not need to react to assert yourself. It forces others to sit with their own behavior. And here is the final realization. You are not required to attend every argument you are invited to. You are not obligated to respond to every challenge. The strongest position is often refusal. Refusal to react. Refusal to explain. Refusal to be pulled out of yourself. When you master this, arguments change. Provocations lose their edge. People either respect your presence or reveal their intentions quickly. Both outcomes serve you. Emotional control is not passive. It is active restraint. It is choosing dignity over impulse. It is understanding that the real battle is not between you and others, but between reaction and awareness. And the moment you value your energy, you start valuing your time. You stop letting random people schedule your emotions for you. You stop granting access to your attention just because someone is loud, persistent, or provocative. Time becomes sacred, and sacred things are protected. This is where boundaries become effortless. Not because you learned the perfect phrase, but because you finally understand the cost of engagement. Every argument has a price. Every emotional spike drains something. Once you see the invoice clearly, you stop buying what you don't need. You also become harder to bait because you stop needing the last word. The last word is often a trap disguised as closure. It keeps you inside the loop. True closure is leaving the loop entirely. Walking away without explanation is not weakness, it is mastery. At first, people will test this version of you. They will escalate. They will call you arrogant, cold, distant, too serious. This is predictable. When you remove your reactions, you remove their entertainment. When you remove your compliance, you reveal their entitlement. But if you hold steady, something shifts. They either adapt or they disappear. Some will respect you more, others will resent you silently. Both responses are information. Respect is alignment. Resentment is exposure. This is also when you learn the difference between conflict and chaos. Conflict can be clean. It can be honest. It can lead to clarity and resolution. Chaos is different. Chaos is provocation without purpose, noise without truth. Your job is to participate in conflict when it's constructive and refuse chaos when it's manipulative. To do this, you must keep your center even when you speak firmly. Calm does not mean soft. Calm can deliver consequences. Calm can end conversations. Calm can say no and not negotiate afterward. The power is not in aggression. It is in certainty. Notice how provocateurs crumble when they cannot hook you. They start contradicting themselves. They jump topics. They increase volume. They look for allies in the room. This is because their power was never real. It was borrowed from your reaction. And once you understand this, you stop taking their words personally. You see the pattern. They are not speaking to communicate. They are speaking to control. When you don't accept the frame, the words lose their poison. Over time, you build a quiet identity, someone who cannot be rushed, cannot be cornered, cannot be manipulated into losing dignity. This identity is not built through slogans. It is built through repetition. Moment after moment, you choose the same thing, restraint. And here is what separates restraint from avoidance. You still tell the truth. You still name disrespect when necessary, but you do it without heat, without performance, without the need to punish. You speak like someone describing weather, not pleading for approval. A simple line can change the entire dynamic. That comment is unnecessary. Once you win that battle, no provocation can rule you, and no one can take what you refuse to give. There is one more layer to understand. As you develop this capacity, you will face a different kind of test, the temptation to use your composure as a weapon. You will realize that you can remain calm while others lose control, and you might be tempted to provoke them deliberately, to watch them unravel while you stay centered. Resist this temptation. Using composure as a weapon makes you the provocateur. It corrupts the very skill you have developed. Emotional control is for defense and self-preservation, not for manipulation. The goal is not to dominate others, but to remain sovereign over yourself. When you use your skills to destabilize others, you become what you learn to protect yourself from. True mastery includes compassion. You understand how difficult it is to maintain control because you have fought that battle yourself. You recognize the signs of someone losing their grip because you have been there. This recognition should create empathy, not contempt. You can hold your boundaries firmly while still respecting the humanity of the person across from you. This does not mean tolerating disrespect. It means responding to disrespect with clarity rather than cruelty. It means disengaging without humiliating. It means protecting yourself without needing to destroy the other person. This is the difference between strength and brutality. As you continue this practice, you will notice that your baseline emotional state becomes more stable. The highs are not as high, and the lows are not as low. This is not numbness. This is equilibrium. You are not suppressing emotion. You are experiencing it without being controlled by it. Joy is still joyful. Sadness is still present, but neither derails you. This equilibrium extends into all areas of life. Work stress affects you less. Relationship conflicts resolve more easily. Unexpected challenges feel more manageable. This is because you have trained your nervous system to return to baseline quickly. What once took hours or days to recover from now takes minutes. The people closest to you will notice this change most acutely. They will see that you are less reactive, more present, more reliable. Some will appreciate this growth. Others, especially those who benefited from your previous reactivity, may resist it. This resistance is also information. It reveals who wants you to grow and who needs you to stay small. In professional settings, this composure becomes a competitive advantage. While others panic during crises, you remain focused. While others escalate during negotiations, you stay strategic. While others burn bridges through emotional outbursts, you preserve relationships, even through disagreement. Over time, this pattern builds a reputation that precedes you. People know you can be trusted to stay calm under pressure. But perhaps the most profound benefit is internal. You begin to trust yourself. You know that no matter what someone says or does, you will not betray yourself through impulsive reaction. You will not say things you regret. You will not damage relationships you value. You will not compromise your integrity for temporary satisfaction. This self-trust is the foundation of confidence, and with this confidence comes a paradox. You become both softer and stronger. Softer because you no longer need to protect yourself through aggression. Stronger because your composure is unshakable. You can be vulnerable without being weak. You can be open without being naive. You can be kind without being pushable. This is the final form of emotional control. Flexibility with boundaries. You adapt to each situation without losing your core. You give people chances without giving them unlimited access. You forgive without forgetting the lessons. You move forward without carrying resentment. This balance is rare and powerful, so practice this daily, in small moments. When someone cuts you off in traffic, pause before reacting. When someone interrupts you in a meeting, breathe before responding. When someone criticizes you unfairly, wait before defending. These small repetitions build the capacity for larger tests. And when the large tests come, and they will, you will be ready. Not because you have perfect control, but because you have practiced imperfect control thousands of times. You have learned to catch yourself mid-reaction and choose differently. You have learned that every moment offers a new choice, and you are always only one breath away from composure. That is how you argue without losing control. That is how you protect your peace. That is how you build a life where you respond from strength rather than react from fear. The path is simple but not easy. It requires daily commitment. It requires honest self-assessment. It requires patience with your own growth. But the reward is everything. Freedom from manipulation, clarity in chaos, dignity in conflict, and most importantly, sovereignty over yourself. When you achieve this, you do not avoid life's challenges. You meet them from a place of centered strength, and from that place, anything is possible.